Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you my summer TBR. So I have my little TBR card ready and we're going to discuss the books that I am planning to read in the next 3 months. Now, if you don't know where this TBR comes from, it has 3 sources. First of all, I want to read my TBR down to 0, so I have a list of books that I owned at the beginning of the year and that I need to read this quarter to reach that goal. Then I do have a list of 5 authors I wanted to try this year, and I want to read one of those this season. And last but not least, I have a list of 5 series that I want to marathon read this year, and one of those series is on this TBR. So let's get into the books. I'm going to start out with the ones that I don't own physically, so we get those out of the way. And first of all, that would be Mistborn Era 2, which is 4 books: Alloy of Law, Shadows of Self, Bands of Mourning, and The Lost Metal. Now, if you have watched my Mistborn Era 1 vlog, you know that I did not really enjoy those books. I still want to give Era 2 a try, just because they've always sounded more interesting to me, because it's more like steampunky and they have like guns and whatever. So I definitely want to give it a try. However, this is a little bit tentative because I do not own these books yet. So I will buy them as ebooks. And different to Era 1, I will not buy the ebook box set of all the books. I will start with book 1. And if I do not like this, I will scrap it. I will not put myself through the Mistborn slog once again. So this is a little bit tentative. I do have a lot of books I want to read this year. So if I'm not enjoying this one, it will go off the TBR. But for now, it's on there. So this is high fantasy. You've probably heard about it. I don't really know a lot about the plot. Obviously, I know what happened in Era 1, and the Era 2 takes place like hundreds of years later. And it's also a little bit about how what happened in Era 1 now is kind of like the mythology of this world. Then for the author I want to read, I have Raise the Sands on my TBR. This is by Sarah Beth Durst, I believe. And yeah, this is a book that has been on my TBR for a long time, as have quite a few of her other books. So I want to read this one first, just because it was the one that kind of like sparked my interest in this author. And then I hope to continue on with other books by the author. But Raise the Sand is the one that is on my TBR, and I'm planning to getting that as an audiobook, hopefully. So these are the 5 books I don't own physically, so let's get into the rest that I own already. And for that, I think we are going to start out with nonfiction this time. I do have 3 nonfiction books on this TBR. The first one would be Queer Love in Color. This is a book that has photographs as well as stories of different couples that are all queer and in some shape or form like people of color. So I'm definitely intrigued to read this. I think this will be a nice thing to just maybe read like one of the stories each day or something like that. So I hope to get to this one. Next, I have a book that was gifted to me. This is Lou Andrea Salome. This is kind of a biography of a woman who lived in Germany in the 1800s or something, and she knew quite a lot of famous men, but this is her story. Next up, the last nonfiction on this TBR is The Unwomanly Face of War by Svetlana Alexievich, and this one is about the women, I think in the Second World War, that were in the Russian military. Now, I have owned this book for quite a few years now, and it is probably obvious why I don't feel like reading about the Russian military right now, but I have owned it for so long, and I am interested in this, and I think this also won prizes and stuff like that. So yeah, I still hope to read it. Then I have two classics, and both of those I got from my grandma. The first one is Ein weites Feld by Günter Grass, which is a really big book, and I have no idea what it's about. It's a German classic. I think it's like an after-war, like Second World War Germany book. No idea. Am I really interested in this? No. But I do own it now, and I don't like unhauling books if I haven't like read them. So yeah, I might give this a try, but I'm like really scared of this one as well. I'm pretty sure I had to read one Günter Grass book in school, but don't ask me which one. I don't remember. And then we have Links, wo das Herz ist by Leonhard Frank. This was a very like left-wing author, so he never really got to fame in like the Western Germany area, but was quite popular in the Eastern Germany area that was under the Soviet occupation basically. So yeah. I have read one book by this author before. It was okay. I think these editions are quite rare now, and I just mentioned to my grandma that I think it's really cool that she has this like very flawless edition, and so she gave it to me. That was not my intent, but that's how my grandma works. You say something is nice, you will get it as a gift. Luckily, that one is not quite as big as the Günter Grass one. And then I have two other books that were gifts. I have one that is a novel, Wish You Were Here by Jodi Picoult. This one, I don't know how I feel about this one. This is kind of like a vacation book because the main character goes on vacation, but it's also a COVID book, and the main character is supposed to go with their partner. The partner is a doctor though, and has to stay behind because of COVID, and so she goes on her own, and it's like finding out about what she wants and stuff. So this could be like perfect for me right now, but it could also be like terrible. I don't know. So I do want to give it a try. And then another book I got as a gift, Die Weiße Maasai. This is kind of autobiographical, I think, because the author actually married a Maasai man and then later on got divorced, and I think wrote this book. Now, how do I feel about white women writing about like Maasai and like Africa in general? Not great. So yeah, we'll see about this one. Mixed feelings, let's just say that. And then the last book for my physical TBR is a fun one. This is a cozy, a mystery series by Rita Mae Brown and her cat Sneaky Pie Brown. And in this series we follow a cat solving murder. This one I think is called Murder on the Prowl in English. I think this is the next one I need to read. I always get a little bit confused because you never have like the number of the book in the series somewhere on the cover, but I'm pretty sure this is the next one I need. And yeah, this will just be like a fun, quick, cozy read. And then I have already read one of the books that I had originally put on my summer TBR because I needed it for a prompt in a readathon. So I will replace it with a book that has been on a previous TBR that I did not get to, and that would be The Woman's History of the Modern World by Rosalind Miles. I still really want to read this book this year. Okay, so that's it for my summer TBR. I really hope I can get to a lot of these. Looking back on my spring TBR, the video for that will be coming up very soon, where we talk through the TBR and how much I actually read. But let's just say my hopes are not that high, but maybe I can do better. I'll try to do better with this TBR, so we can actually talk about some of these books on the channel very soon. So let me know, what are you planning on reading this summer? Do you have any books you're like really looking forward to? I would love to hear about that. Also, have you read any of these books? Have you loved them? Did you not like them? Maybe? Let me know in the comments, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye!